Well, history and theology intertwine in a sense that Christ is the author of all things. Christ is the author of a story, of a narrative, namely history. Since Christ is the author of that story and history, it compels us as Christians to know that story. Christ, of course, is also the giver of all things, including theology. Christ died for his church. Christ purchased his church with his blood. That's theology. And the narrative of the church is the narrative of Jesus keeping his people and causing them to persevere and being with them so that they don't fall and stumble. The history of the church is the unpacking of God's sovereignty throughout history and his saving of his people from generation and generation. And it's my joy to be able to communicate that to my students. Yes, things like the French Revolution or the American Revolution are important, but they're all within the mega narrative and the framework of God's sovereignty. God is redeeming people in all these situations of history, all these events. God's hand is reaching far and wide to save people from different parts of the world. And as I am teaching different events in history, I'm constantly reminding my students, God is there. He was moving there. Even though we might not understand why this horrific event took place in history, God was receiving and increasing his glory. He was using the wrath of man to praise him. He was causing his church to thrive so that the gates of hell would not prevail against it. So theology and history dovetail together in the fact that God's sovereignty overreaches all of history, and he is working out his glory in the streams of history, and he's also protecting his church and saving people through that.